Hello everyone, in this session we will start chapter 6 of business studies, that is social responsibility and ethics of business. Now till now we have understood that business, it remains in the society, it works for the society and it is managed by the society as well. So in return, when business uses all the resources of society, it is their responsibility to give something to the society as well. Now those things are nothing but social responsibility of business, or you can say moral or ethics of business. Now let us see why this social responsibility or ethics is important in business. Now business owe a lot to the society. They create employment, means through business people get job, and business also uses natural resources, plus they emit pollution, and there are other factors by which a business can affect the society. So from this perspective, from this point of view, business, they need to be socially responsible. If they are using something, then in return they should give to the society as well. Now in this chapter you will be able to understand what are the responsibility of businesses towards their society. Now you should learn this chapter to think as a businessman or as an employee of an organization, that what are your duties or what are your responsibilities towards the society. Now a few incidents like Bhopal gas tragedy, we all know that took place in 1980s because of some poisonous gas leakage. Lots of thousands of people, they died in Bhopal. So this kind of tragedy shows us that how much a business is responsible towards the society. Now the primitive economy accepted business as one of the occupation. Since the Industrial Revolution, business was recognized and accepted as profit making. Earlier when we started in our economy, when we started business, it was looked upon as only profit making venture. But with the passing of time, through making profit, people, what they become is that they become greedy, selfish and exploiter. In order to gain more profit by hook or by crook, they started exploiting their customer, their competitor, and there were illegal or unfair means as well. So the unsatisfactory and tense situation divided the human factor in the business as workers and owners. In order to gain more profit, what the owners, they used to do is that they used to pay less salary or less wages to their workers. The workers, they were forced to work long hours in a day. Since then, the close conflict between them started, and because of this only, there was conflict between workers and owners. In such circumstances, business lost its contact with the customers and the society. So with that continuing, the business, they lost its personal touch with customers as well as society. Now this was the case of primitive economy, or you can say early economy case. But now modern businesses, they are forced by labor revolution, consumers consciousness, public opinion and the welfare concept of the government. That means these days modern business, they think about labor revolution. They fear that if they don't treat their workers properly, there will be revolution by their labors. Then they have to think about consumers needs and wants. They have to go with the public opinion, what public thinks about their business, what negative image they are throwing upon the public, and the welfare concept of the government. Now these days business, they have to go along with the various projects or various rules of the government regarding the welfare of the economy. Now what is social responsibility? Now let us see what is meant by the concept of social responsibility. Now business these days is recognized and accepted as a social and economic organ of the society. Means they have to think social benefit of the economy as well as economic organ. Just like we human beings, we have lots of organs in our body without which we cannot survive. Just like that, business also is an organ of the society without which the economy cannot be developed, the society cannot run. The business is formed within the society. That means we form business inside the society with using resources of the society. And why we do business? To satisfy the needs of the society. That means our business is revolved around or surrounded by the society. So in this way it is a social venture. Means since it is related with society, we can say that it is a social venture. All the factors of production, that means man, machine, material and capital and equipment, are nothing but they are supplied by the society to the business. As such, business, they own, means they owe their existence, means because of the society only they are existing and they are surviving in the society. The society originates, means because of society business originated. Then because of society the business is able to survive, and because of society business is able to manage themselves. As such, it is obligatory on the business to conduct its affair in the interest of society. Now see, society creates, develops and manages business. So in return, business also they have some they have to give some importance to the society. That means they have to take interest in the welfare of the society. In this way, the conduction of business with the social interest in view is fulfilling social obligation. So social responsibility is nothing but looking after the society and their needs by a business is known as social responsibility. Just like take example that you are staying with your family, they are providing you food, they are providing you everything that you need. So when your parents will become old, you will be responsible for them, you have to take care of them. Just like that, business also, it have to take care of the society, and that is nothing but known as social responsibility. Now in other words, social responsibility is the obligation of the business towards different groups of society. You can say that there are various groups included in a society. Now fulfilling their obligation is nothing but known as social responsibility of a business. In addition, plus earlier we knew that business they used to run for profit making, but including profit earning, they now have social responsibility as well. Now in short, you can say that humanization of business to a reasonable limit is social responsibility. Means turning business into some kind of thing with human morale is nothing but social responsibility. Now sometimes we get confused between what is social responsibility and what is legal responsibility. Now both are different. Social responsibility is a broader term, means it is very big in nature than legal responsibility. Legal responsibility is nothing but you have to understand or you have to know what kind of laws that you have to follow if you are planning to run a business. But social responsibility is a wider concept, means in social responsibility a firm they will not have any rules to follow. First they have to recognize what kind of expectations are expected from the business by the society. Then they have to think how much amount of or how much level of social responsibility they can fulfill. So it is totally upon the business whether they want to do social, whether they want to oblige with social responsibility or not. So that is why it is also known as voluntary action. It depends upon the business whether they want to take up social responsibility or not. Legal responsibility on the other hand, it is compulsorily mandatory for all the business to comply with. But social responsibility is up to the business whether they want to take it or not. Now there are some important views regarding social responsibility given by different persons like Kuntz and O'Donnell, H.R. Bowen, J. Prakash Narayan, George A. Steiner. So you can just give it a thorough reading, and if you want to by heart their definition, then you can do that as well, because if in question they ask what is social responsibility for 2 to 3 marks, then you can just take up any one of the definition and you can write. Now when we talk about society, it includes lots of parties, interested parties. Now they are nothing but interested parties in the business that we have learned in accountancy. Okay, so from social responsibilities point of view, it is nothing but the company's obligation towards various parties of the society. Means responsibility towards own self, then responsibility towards owners of the business or investors, then workers or employees working in the business, then consumers or customers of the organization, then government, and at last the community and public in general. Now, community and public in general means those people or those general public who are not customer or consumer of a business organization. They are related with the business. Now, business has its social obligation to pay reasonable return to the entrepreneur. Means every owner of the business, he is expecting something in return of his investment into the business as capital. So the social obligation towards entrepreneur is of a business is nothing but to give him reasonable return, then to pay interest at competitive rates to investors. Now, the social obligation or responsibility towards the investors is nothing but to give interest which is competitive, means which is comparable or somehow same with the competitive business. Then to pay reasonable remuneration to employees, supply goods to customers at reasonable rates, and to conduct the affairs of the business in accordance with the social commitment and values. That means the business should not be an illegal or immoral one. So these are nothing but their small social responsibility towards various parties like entrepreneur, investors, customers, then workers and general public. Or in short, social business responsibility means the reasonable evaluation of all resources. Means you have to evaluate, you have to analyze all your resources and their effective direction. Means how you are using them, how you are going to repay them back, and how you are going to use them to meet your business as well as social commitments. Now, there is another term known as corporate social responsibility. Then you can give a glance over this box. Now, there are some cases for social responsibility. The concept of social responsibility implies that it is an ethical issue. It is the question of morality, means it is concerned with what is morally wrong or right in relation to firm's responsibility. Now, social responsibility is nothing but a business should know what is right or what is wrong, what work the work that they are doing, whether it is right or wrong. That is nothing but known as social responsibility. Now, social responsibility, it has an element or a factor of voluntary action on the part of the business person. Means it is not mandatory for all the business to oblige with social responsibility. It depends upon the business. It is their own will whether they want to follow those social responsibility or they don't want to follow social responsibility. It is totally upon them. The business is free to decide the extent to which it will serve the society. Means for doing social responsibility, they have to spend some amount of money. Now, it is up to the business if they want to follow social responsibility, if they want to undertake social responsibility, then how much amount of money or how much extent they will go to fulfill social responsibility towards various factors of the society. In fact, all businessmen are not equally responsible towards the society. Now, when we talk about small businesses, they use very less amount of resources as compared to the big enterprises or big manufacturing companies. So every business, they are not equally responsible for spoiling the society or for taking up social responsibility. It is not mandatory that a small business, if it is spending rupees 5 to 10 lakh for social responsibility, then big business also, they are supposed to spend only 5 to 10 lakhs on social responsibility. It depends upon the business firm how much they want to spend. It is still disputable and debatable whether the business should honor social commitments. Means some business, they think that social responsibility is a very important matter, but some business they argue against it. They say that social responsibility is not that much as important as other work. Both the views have their own arguments. Now there are some discussion about in favor of assuming social responsibility as well as against following the social responsibility. Now in this session we will see arguments in favor of assuming social responsibility, means those who thinks that social responsibility is an important and it is a good thing for business. Now in arguments, first point is democratic attitude of the government, how government feels about social responsibility. After the social and political revolutions, the country has adopted planned developmental democratic economy, means for developing the economy they used to plan earlier. They had adapted this kind of policy. So it is necessary to integrate, direct and control the activities of the business towards social welfare. Now since the government they took up this policy, what they have to do is that they have to integrate, means they have to combine all the efforts of industries or business and they have to direct towards the development of the society. In these circumstances the business has to assume its responsibility towards the society. So under the government's thinking, since all the businesses they are working towards development of the society, so it is considered that social responsibility also it is very important in this kind of policy. So we knew from this point, we know that government they keep on emphasizing about social responsibility, and for this the business community has to carry out the provision, means for this they have to follow minimum wages act, factory act and other rules of the or other directions of the government. Then second point of view is from consumers point of view. In earlier days, what consumers they had to depend upon the manufacturer or the business houses, that what they are going to purchase, if it is available in the market then only they will purchase it. But now modern business it is totally changed. It treats consumer as the king. So whatever consumer want, the business houses they produce it, they manufacture it and they used to sell it. So consumers have also organized their powerful association. Since consumers have now power in their hand, they have made various association. In these circumstances the business must fulfill its social commitments if it's want to survive. So since consumers are given more importance in modern society, so there is importance for social responsibility of a business towards the consumer. Then third point of view is political point of view. Now there must be democratization of business also. If there is democracy in the country, workers being the vital and active factor of the business must be accorded participation in the management. Means India is a democratic country, so all the political parties that comes into power is nothing but decision of the general public. Since all the public they have their own right to choose their leader, in same manner in business also workers they play a very important and active part. Okay, so when workers they are satisfied, they work properly in the business. So to impress workers, what the business organization in today's modern world they do is that they include those workers in management decision taking process. Different political parties have emerged due to democratic setup of the country. These parties make certain promises in their election. So the main thing that you have to remember in this point is that to fulfill the social responsibility towards their workers, the company or the business house, what they do is that they include workers into their decision making process. Then fourth factor is from foreign point of view. In general, the business community of Japan, England, Germany, etc., various countries they fulfill social responsibility. They do not indulge in bad practices of adulteration, imitation, and duplication. It is therefore necessary that Indian business also they should take lesson from this foreign institution and carry out their business in the best interest of the various classes of the society. Means in order to compete with foreign companies, Indian business also they have to follow social responsibility just like other foreign countries are following. The next is stress on business ethics. There has been a revolution in the views and thinking of individuals. Means every now and then the thinking or the ideology of people changes. So previously the business was supposed to belong to its owners. Means earlier businesses they only used to think about themselves, but these days it is supposed to be assets of the entire community and nation. But these days we think or we look business as a factor for developing our country and nation as well. There are seminars, meetings, and discussions, and everywhere it is stressed that the business should assume its social responsibility. Since the business they are working for development of the economy, for development of the society, so it is given through seminars and meetings and discussion, it is emphasized on the business to follow their social responsibility. Then last is conclusion. Ethics is the obligation of entire society. Our entire society works on the ethics and not a particular group. Therefore, the business community being very resourceful should especially assume social obligations, since everything in the society they are following ethics. So as a part of the society, business also they have to assume their social responsibility or business ethics. In this connection, Ghanshyam Das Birla he said that if the business does not keep the interest of the masses means the society at top, nobody will take care of it. Means according to him, if the business doesn't think about its society, then society also will not take care of it, and ultimately the business will be broken down. Okay, so in our next session we will discuss about arguments in opposition of social responsibility. For this session we will wind up here. Thank you.